Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. I am here today to talk you through what is going on with Prince Harry, Catherine and Prince William. Now, I have some exclusive insights from a 20-year career in mainstream media as a former publicist that I want to share with you, because the mainstream media is a for-profit corporation that heavily relies on the royal family to make money. That's what it comes down to. Now, the royal family are also hugely dependent on the mainstream media for relevance. So it is really a very toxic relationship. Now, my inbox is full of people asking me, is Harry coming back into the fold? Why are the press writing fairly okay about him? What does this mean? So I'm going to explain this. And your time is limited and I am busy. So my aim is that you do not get lots of waffly videos. I am going to hopefully distill things so you can enjoy this over a cuppa or, while you're relaxing, and you don't need to buy these propaganda, absolute BS newspapers. So Harry flew in to the country. There was a pap shot which was from Backgrid. Anyone that follows me, and this video, the picture from Backgrid rather, was on the tarmac in an airport. Now, anyone that follows me knows that I love to let followers in on lots of celebrity secrets and tricks of the trade. Backgrid, let me introduce you to them. They are the go-to celebrity photo agency. A lot of celebrities work with them and like to set up pap shots. Now, whilst I'm not saying Prince Harry has done that, I would never insinuate that, I am saying it must be very hard to get access on the tarmac for a photographer. Anyhow, so we see Harry boarding the plane and then he goes straight to the late Queen's grave. He then goes straight on to a well child event, and what I want you to look at closely is, and the mainstream media haven't picked this up because their job is not to accurately report on news. Prince Harry did not do the red carpet solo. He came in to the venue and he met with people in front of the photo board. Some of those people being Peter Andre. Now, it's hardly the front page news anyone was hoping for. Peter Andre probably can't believe his luck, and I've said it on my Instagram and I'll say it again here. If Peter Andre meeting Prince Harry at the Well Child event is not the column lead in his new magazine column out next Tuesday, I will be shocked. But check back here and we'll find out if it is. But Prince Harry met some of the children in front of the branding board. But what he didn't do was he didn't do the solo photo call. So what that is it's, highly posed for pictures on your own towards the photographers, the press. And if he did this, it would very much be that he's working with the mainstream media on their terms, because the press have a photo pen and that's what they're there to do. He didn't do that. So what I think you can read into this is you can see that it's half in, half out, and Harry is trying to do mainstream media on his terms. But this is why you will never, ever, ever get a really strong 360-degree strategy with Harry, because it's too fragmented. You cannot be in, out, half in, half out with the mainstream media. It's a game. It's like playing cops and robbers. You can't stop and start playing a game. You're either playing the game or you're not playing the game. And that's just a really simple way to look at it. Now, Harry then went from seeing the children at Well Child, who are incredibly vulnerable children, terminally ill and very poorly children, to an engagement in Nottingham where he donated, we are told, £1.1 million of his own money to children in need. So, do we think this is really from Harry's pocket? I will never know, and you will never know. Now, whilst I wouldn't insinuate it's disingenuous or it's not from his pocket, I also can't sit here as an independent journalist and tell you I have proof it is from his own pocket. And I think it's always great to question everything. I question everything, and I'm quite sure from reading all of the comments on my YouTube that my subscribers are critical thinkers as well. So my mind will always go to is this a PR stunt? And whilst £1.1 million to charity is incredible, I have a theory, and my theory is based on 20 years of being a professional in the very industry that Harry is trying to manipulate and play. I believe Harry has packed in a narrative in this 4-day trip to back the mainstream media into a corner. So what you are seeing is Harry is very much giving mainstream facts that cannot be denied. He went to the late Queen Elizabeth II's grave. You can't deny that, but there were no pictures, just of him in the car. He then went on to Wellchild to see terminally ill, sick and vulnerable children. He then went on to Children in Need in Nottingham and donated £1.1 million. So in that 48 hours, he's given the media, the mainstream media, pictures of himself and a narrative that you are not going to get any mainstream media editor that thinks it's a good idea to slag Prince Harry off around this narrative. You cannot, you can question, how long did he stay at the grave, but you can't question, someone going to see a relative's grave. You cannot frame that as bad. You move on to the Wellchild event. You cannot write negative coverage about someone going to raise awareness for sick, vulnerable and terminally ill children. There is no flexibility with this narrative for the mainstream media. They'll be losing their minds. He then goes on to donate, which we're told is from his own pocket, £1.1 million. Again, the mainstream media have no flexibility with this narrative. So all of a sudden, you're seeing factual reporting of Harry. Now, let's not forget, Harry has completely smeared our royal family and their names through the mud. He has used every opportunity to monetize and to exploit every insight that he had, and we have seen disingenuous move after disingenuous move from Meghan Markle. At any opportunity, they like to get a few little digs in. Now, this trip, I don't believe, is purely for a charity donation and to support Wellchild. He's on the charm offensive, and you will often hear me talk about turning the narrative. Turning the narrative is not done overnight. Turning the narrative is like a leaking tap going drip, 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 and then you go, oh, there's a puddle. That's exactly what Harry's trying to do. He is trying to go from villain to hero. I would urge anyone that is falling for this PR charm offensive just to have a look at what he said in Spare, or look at the Tom Bradbury interview, look at what Meghan has said about the Queen and the royal family, the Oprah interview. And let's not forget that while they have been in Montecito, hanging out with their new friends, Tyler Perry and Oprah, both of which I would question if they were in my social circle, it has been Catherine, who has been privately battling cancer and having chemotherapy. It has been King Charles, who is battling his own cancer battle. It has been Queen Camilla, who has been steadily and consistently getting on with her role and actually amazing charity work relating to domestic violence and all of her work with the Queen's Reading Room. And it has been Prince William who has been steadfast in his commitment to the country. So, you know, Harry might want to come over for a 4-day PR offensive, but I think he is taking the British public and the world for fools if he thinks that 4 days of opportunistic PR moves is enough, because it certainly isn't. Now, online coverage for Harry may be slightly more you will see quite a lot of coverage online, and it might be slightly positive, and you may see more playful narratives. This is because the online press is algorithm driven. They are creating news out of absolutely nothing. So they could make news out of my Bic pen if it made them money. And we know Harry makes the mainstream media a lot of money. And you cannot have him consistently, when he's giving the press nothing apart from facts, they can't make him out to be the baddie. So they have to then play him off against Prince William. They have to then pick on Catherine, which I think is an incredibly stupid move, because Catherine and Prince William have the hearts of the nation, and rightly so. And Catherine, you don't see her turning up looking for the glossy aspects of royal life. You see her working consistently, and her deep commitment to the country is so clear. Now, the coverage from Harry, he's made the front of one newspaper, the Daily Express, and it's only a drop-in. There is no other front page coverage. You see page 7 of the Mirror. Now, I've taken one for the team YouTube, and I went and bought the mainstream newspapers today. It did make me feel a little bit sick that I was investing in propaganda, but it was for research purposes. So I've bought them so you don't have to. And what you're seeing in the Mirror is, again, it looks to me like Team Harry are very much briefing off the record to the journalists. A source close to the Duke of Sussex said, as Harry has stated before, he'd love to see his family and be reconciled. Well, after he's rinsed the lemon, made millions and millions of pounds, and he's run out of places to go now. So, you know, we've got Spare, the follow-up to Spare will be out, and he needs content. So I've bought this so you don't have to. Going straight in the bin now. Now, what's this one? This is the I paper, page 5. Just factual reporting. This is the Sun. This is page 11. That's it. The Times, page 9. Apologies, this is the Sun, page 21. And then you've got the drop-in on the Express. So, it's not the front page coverage he would have hoped for. This is very much the redemption chapter that Harry is looking at, winning the hearts back of the public. And I think it's very important that if you do read mainstream media, you just have your eyes open and you realise that it is a soap opera. So if they ran too much positive coverage of, let's say, Prince William, it wouldn't sell, because through our mainstream media, we are conditioned to expect drama, fireworks, trauma, negativity. Good news very rarely sells. And so the mainstream media have flexibility within what they can legally write. They are able to use specific language that is not contentious, they couldn't be libelled for, they couldn't be sued for, and ultimately what your job is to navigate through all of this and to look at what is a puff piece and what isn't a puff piece. The majority of it is going to be puff pieces. It's going to be clickbait. It is going to be coverage of no substance. Now, what I want to bring up is that I really don't like the way the mainstream media are starting to get a little bit snipey with the Princess of Wales and Prince William. The reason they are doing this is because they need to change the narrative. Again, they know that Catherine going to do a charity engagement or William going to do a charity engagement, it isn't enough on its own to sell newspapers or to create clickbait. So what they do is they just add a little bit of drama into it. So all of a sudden you've got Harry in the country, you've got Harry and William 8 miles away, but they're not going to see each other. And then they just start to pad it out and create more drama. Now, whilst I do believe there is a lot of drama behind closed doors, the mainstream media do tend to write what they want to write. But when Harry was in the country and doing the World Child red carpet, sorry, he still is in the country, when he was doing the World Child red carpet, I think it's really interesting to look at where Catherine was and what she was doing, because the Princess of Wales was doing what she does so brilliantly. She was, as ever, being elegant and classy. She was getting on with the job because she is a professional royal that takes her role incredibly seriously, and for that she has the respect of the nation. She was at the Women's Institute to mark the anniversary of the late Queen Elizabeth II's death. Now, the Women's Institute is an incredible organisation. I'm sure many people watching this video will know of it. It's actually been an organisation that's helped my grandma a lot since my grandfather passed, and it is something that brings women together from all over the country, and it isn't glossy though, and it isn't showbiz, and it isn't all of these things that Meghan and Harry gravitate towards. And so when Harry is in the country doing the red carpets and doing the big performative PR spectacles to trap the mainstream media so they have to write factually, just remember that it has been William and Catherine that have been steadfast and holding the fort while Harry tries to absolutely tear the royal family down. That is your Wednesday nugget. I hope it has been useful. I know your time is busy and I am also busy, but I want you to enjoy this channel and always have value from it. There are so many people giving opinions out there, and I think that's great, but I do hope that you will hold space for my channel, which is factual, evidence-based, professional opinions, having been inside the centre of mainstream media. So enjoy, keep your eyes open, and I have to now do the YouTube spiel, which is like, subscribe and comment if you could. Thank you so much.